kind of like that.
Follow News 1226 on Twitter to keep informed with the latest happening near you.
From the station that's on your side, News 12, first at 5, continues.
A pretty normal night. Picking up passengers turns into a nightmare for a Georgia Lyft driver.
I don't want this to happen to anyone else, too, and I want these guys caught.
How she wound up the victim of a carjacking.
But first up, North Augusta seeing a lot of growth. Just this week, the city approving zoning for a new school to be built.
The school is just one example of construction going on in North Augusta. News 12's Nick Proto live off Belvedere Clearwater Road, where the new schools are set to be built.
Yeah, this is the area off Belvedere, Clearwater, and Old Sudlow Lake Road where those new Highland schools are going to go. North Augusta City Council just approving construction for that earlier this week. Now, school officials tell me we are seeing an increase in people in North Augusta, which is actually causing some overcrowding at some middle and elementary schools. They've even had to make some changes to how many students these new schools are going to hold. The original plan had the middle school holding about 500 students, but that number is now up to 750, and the elementary school will hold 500 students. That number is up from 250. These plans have been in the works since about 2018, and soon they'll be able to get that ball rolling.
This is just something that we've been talking about for a while, so it's really good to see, you know, when you start to see that movement on the governmental side of things.
But these schools aren't the only new growth coming to the area. Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from new North Augusta Mayor Britton Williams about his vision for the future of North Augusta.
Lots of changes on the horizon there. Nick Proto, thanks very much for the live update there. Also in North Augusta, I'm going to give you a live look at Third Thursday downtown. Things really just getting started out there right now. Mayor Britton Williams and some of the other city council members will be there this evening, thanking those vendors for taking part. And there are plenty of local businesses and restaurants to check out this evening. Also, you can play a few games, cornhole, horseshoes, soccer. It's all going to be going on until 8 o'clock tonight right there in downtown North Augusta. Let's take a look now across the river. This is downtown Augusta on a nice
into the 70s for the rest of game time, so another very nice night to go check out some baseball. By early tomorrow morning, not a bad start. Sunrise temperatures are expected to be into the mid to upper 50s. A relatively cool start, but we could see some 90s starting tomorrow. While we'll look at that hot forecast in just a little bit.
Thanks, Riley. Richmond County deputies need your help finding a missing man. 54-year-old Edward Johnson, last seen May the 14th in a gray 2004 Nissan Titan. He was wearing brown pants and a khaki shirt, rubber boots, and a brown hard hat. He's described as 5 feet 11 inches tall, 210 pounds. If you know anything about where he might be, call the number right there on your screen and help authorities find this man.
Deputies are still searching for this man, Marcus Simpson. He was last seen leaving his home in Hepzibah Sunday. Officials say he suffers from an altered mental state. So if you know where he could be, you're asked to call the sheriff's office. On the South Carolina side, police in York County looking for a man accused of murder and shooting deputies during a car chase. This manhunt has been going on since Monday night, and today police say the suspect was spotted on security footage up in Chester County.
Who's safe now? What if he comes knocking on doors in the middle of the night?
Nerves are rattled, the feeling of security frayed, with the thought of an accused killer still on the loose.
You're scared. You're scared. You're just scared.
Officers came by the truckload, several agencies, including York deputies, as well as the FBI, all searching for Tyler Terry. Terry has been accused in some heinous acts, including being wanted for murder in the death of Thomas Harden from nearly 2 weeks ago in York. Investigators say Terry also led them on a wild police chase that lasted 30 miles this past Monday. During the pursuit, police say Terry fired a gun at officers. No one was hurt, and Terry escaped and disappeared. That was until a bystander spotted him this afternoon and called deputies.
When we started arriving, he ran from that bridge and got off, ran into the woods somewhere behind the woods on Fire Tower Road.
Officials showed up all hands on deck. State Law Enforcement Division helicopters armed with the latest tech searched above as SWAT teams scoured the terrain below. 6 schools in the area went on immediate lockdown, including the school Brittany Hutto's daughter attends.
I know that I was sitting in the school line to pick my daughter up, and a cop come flying in, and my heart dropped, you know, because I was unaware that he was that close.
By sundown, many patrol officers disappeared with the light, but the York County Sheriff's Office says they will be searching throughout the night, a night that could end up being a long one for many who live nearby.
Because you never know what's going to happen. This is the craziest thing I've seen so far, and I don't want any part of it.
The Chester County Sheriff's Office says Terry was last seen wearing a blue Burns Auto shirt with the name David on it.
In Polk County, this Georgia woman asked for prayers in her fight against cancer, but the people who donated money say it was all just to collect thousands of dollars for a disease she does not have. Officials confirming Katie Shellhorse was not terminally ill. Detectives say Shellhorse raised at least $15,000 and still counting. Donors say they're hurt by this betrayal.
I just kind of wanted to help as much as I could financially. So just the money. I mean, we were upset. I mean, genuinely upset and sad and cried and prayed, for her and her family. And to find out that it's just not true, it hurt, our hearts.
Shellhorse told police she was dealing with untreated mental health issues. Meanwhile, real cancer survivors in the town say they can't express how angry they are. She turned herself in earlier this week. Outside Savannah, police are looking for a group of teenagers who stole a car from their Lyft driver on Monday.
Fortunately, the driver wasn't hurt. Sam Bauman spoke with her about the terrifying moments.
It was the start of what Hannah Pinkerton expected to be a typical evening of driving for Lyft Monday.
Had a full tank of gas, thought I was going to drive for a couple hours.
Then right around 7:30, she got a request for a ride from Parkside at the Highlands Apartments.
I picked up 3 teenage boys.
From there, she began taking the boys, 1 white and 2 black, towards Pooler.
They were just quiet. That was the only thing that I noticed that seemed kind of unusual.
But as they stopped at the intersection of Benton Boulevard and Town Center, all of a sudden, the boy sitting behind Hannah
grabbed me like this, grabbed my neck, and choked me, and held on tight and grabbed me. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, what is happening? Is he gonna kill me?
The boys told Hannah they wanted her car. Not knowing if they were armed, Hannah agreed.
Opened my door and just run out of there as fast as I can.
They then sped away. Luckily, witnesses had seen what happened and called 911, which is when Hannah's husband Joshua got a call from police.
Just going through my head with this really lot of anger. Why would someone put their hands on my wife?
Joshua was able to use an app to find Hannah's phone, but the car wouldn't be found until a short time later.
The wheels off its axle, and it's totally smashed up. It's total.
Costing them their car and part of their income. Do you feel comfortable with her driving?
I don't. Right now, I don't.
Leaving Hannah feeling lucky to be alive, but fearful that it could happen again.
It's just really emotional. I don't want this to happen to anyone else, too, and I want these guys caught.
And they took a lot from her, her self-confidence. The car is wrecked now and total, he said.
It's such scary moments. There's just really no sense in that.
Yeah, pointless crime, and a spokesperson for Lyft says they removed the account that was used to book that ride.
Well, I hope they did.
Yeah, first thing. We'll let you know if they find out anything more about the suspects. Right now, not much of a description to go on.
Yeah.
So, happening today, the Shepherd Community Blood Center holding a blood drive at the Grace United Methodist Church in North Augusta at the corner of Georgia and Jackson Avenues. Here's a look at how it was going a little earlier this afternoon. They're planning to be out there until 7 this evening. You still have time to donate. And get this, donors get a free meal, Laura, from Chick-fil-A.
That'll get people moving.
I'm telling you what.
I like incentives.
A good cause for a great meal. Take a look at some of our local high school track and field champions. The Richmond County School System highlighting these 3 young athletes on their Facebook page today. Tony Roundtree from Josie, Sinclair Fryer from Laney, both shot put champions, and Davion Benjamin from Glen Hills winning the 800 meter. Congratulations to you all.
The big screen is back in Monetta. The Big Mo Drive-In is officially now open for the 2021 season. I am personally thrilled. I love the Big Mo. There's plenty of films lined up for the summer, like A Quiet Place Part 2, Disney's Cruella, and the new Space Jam. The theater says to start the season, they'll still social distance. They'll require masks at their concession stands and the restrooms, but we do have some more details and a link to the full movie lineup for you online, or you can head to our WRDW app. But excited to have the Big Mo back in action.
That is good news. The official outlook for this year's hurricane season is out, and we're taking a look at what to expect after last year's very busy season. Just ahead after a quick break, first at 5.
And if right on cue, we are...
No, actually, it's not. Rebath. From start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Hurricane season is right around the corner with its official start just a little over a week away. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration released its outlook for the year.
Our friends at NOAA, after a record-breaking storm season last year, Elise Preston breaks down what we're expecting this time around.
The 2021 Atlantic hurricane season could be another busy one.
So we're really looking at some sort of hurricane season in 2021 that probably will be above average again.
Forecasters at NOAA's Climate Prediction Center are expecting a range of 13 to 20 named storms with winds 39 miles per hour or higher. 6 to 10 of those storms could become hurricanes with winds over 74 miles per hour. And there's a chance for 3 to 5 major hurricanes that are Category 3, 4, or 5 with winds 111 miles per hour or higher.
The Atlantic hurricane season doesn't officially start until June, but forecasters warn a major storm before then is not out of the question.
6 years in a row, we've actually had systems develop before the hurricane season in the Atlantic. So it is one of these things that we're warmer. The oceans have been prime. Everything has really come together before the season.
Residents here along the New York coast are not too concerned about what's ahead.
Hurricane season doesn't bother us, I don't think, as much as it would other people, besides like Sandy that one time.
Weather experts say rising sea levels make coastal communities even more vulnerable when storms hit. Elise Preston, CBS News, Coney Island, New York.
While forecasters are expecting an active storm season, they don't expect it to be quite as busy as last year, although, you know, sometimes Mother Nature has other plans. Last year was crazy. You know, we've had so many wild storm seasons in a row, you forget, but what was last year? Laura, and obviously I remember that one. What were the other big ones? I remember Hurricane Laura.
No, but yeah, we got all the way to the Greek alphabet last year.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, it was crazy. And record-setting. It was record-setting last year. So the fact that they're saying it's going to be above average again this year, nothing like last year, but still may be a little bit above average.
What we call an active storm season.
Active storm season, great way to put it.
Yeah.
So we're going to have different variables set in place to where we possibly could get back to a La Nina, which is conducive for more hurricanes to form. And then we are expecting warmer than average ocean temperatures, so that will also play a role. Could be a little bit more active.
Fueling the storms. I remember last year, like every few weeks, it seems like we were talking about the Gulf Coast getting another hurricane week after week after week.
Lake Charles and those areas.
It was bad.
It's a mess.
And the Gulf is already getting close to that.
Talk about the right stuff. The greatest generation. Well, this woman heard her favorite fast food spot was in desperate need of workers, so she came out of retirement to help out. We have that story coming up.
Tractor trailer driver.
Expo.com.
Well, we all know the pandemic has been really hard on small businesses, but when one Ohio woman found out her favorite restaurant was struggling, she decided to take matters into her own hands.
Yes, she did. As John Mock explains, this 81-year-old took everyone by surprise when she showed up to put in some work.
How many times have you heard this story shared on social media? People showing up to their favorite restaurant to find the doors locked and the dining room shut down due to staffing shortages. Well, here the Finley Culvers, when one of their longest regulars found out about the dining room shutdown, she didn't take her anger online, she took herself into the lunch line. Culver's of Finley has been drive-through only since last month. To help beef up staffing, owner Danielle Doxey held walk-in interviews and noticed a familiar face.
Bonnie was walking up and she was a regular, so I met her at the door and I just explained that we were closed and she's like, no, I'm here for an interview. And I was like, what?
And I said, what can I do to help? And they said, you can help us until we can get it open and take food to cars.
81-year-old Bonnie August says she was one of the first people in the door when this Culver's opened and has been a regular ever since. She said she missed sitting down and eating at her favorite restaurant regularly with her circle of friends and decided it was time to step up and join the team. Her days of retirement are over. Bonnie now works 6 days a week for 3 to 4 hour shifts, taking drive-thru orders out to cars.
Everybody pitches in. Everybody works together. It's not a one-person operation. We all pitch in where we're needed.
Bonnie says she is looking forward to serving customers in the dining area once it reopens, including her group of friends. But she isn't quite sure how long she expects to continue working once it does reopen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, long as they'll put up with me.
I'll bet they love having her around. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I love Culver's too, so I understand the passion there.
Yeah, how far would you go for your favorite place? I think, sign me up.
I know, I
Let's keep
get it.
open.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Chick-fil-A was in need, especially North Augusta Chick-fil-A. You guys call me if you get in a bind.
It'll be a pleasure. Riley.
All right, guys, the real weather story the next